Hello and welcome to Wisdom Words with Margaret Emory. I'm your host, Margaret Emory, and today we have a really special show that's going to be all about some fascinating topics like your personal life philosophy and the wisdom we earn along the way. We're going to be talking about core values and how to handle difficult situations, challenges, and how to find meaning and purpose in your life. Anyway, enough about that. I can't wait to introduce you to our special guest, Matt McGloin. Hi, Matt.
Hi,
How
great
are
to be here.
you?
I'm fabulous. It's good to be alive.
Yes. Are you enjoying the surroundings, Central Park?
Yeah, it's a perfect day after all of the stifling heat we've had.
Yeah.
It's wonderful, and people seem nice and chill. It's great.
Yeah, very good. Well, I really should tell you a little bit about Matt because he's an amazing person. I love him very dearly. He is an actor and performer based in Harlem, originally from Baltimore, Maryland. He also identifies as an uncle, brother, son, friend, teacher, musician, cyclist, swimmer, traveler, artist, amateur philosopher, and lover of all things horror. That we'll definitely need to talk
I think
about at
that
some
really
point.
kind of sums me up. Yes. Oh, horror. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot you don't know
I'm
about me.
scared already.
I read a lot of R.L. Stein as a kid. I was that kid. I was that kid reading Goosebumps and
Oh,
Fear Street. Oh, it was great. And I still now, if I'm by myself at home, I'm like, let's curl up and watch a nice little slasher film. What it is? Something,
well,
you know.
I think that's very fascinating, and it will lead me into. I'm going to ask Matt 3 questions, and in the short time that we have together, I'm sure we're going to get lots of insights and a unique outlook. So here goes. The first question.
Fantastic.
Have the timer going. Right. The first question is, well, name one core value or principle that you would consider as the cornerstone of your personal life philosophy. And tell us a little bit how you came to grab onto that.
Wow. First thing that comes to mind is adventure.
Adventure.
Yeah,
I like that.
adventure. So I think from a young age. I mean, I I think about being on the swings at the neighborhood playground when I was a little boy, and I remember that my dad would push me on the swings, and I would kick the moon. That was the game. It was like the moon would be up in the sky, and I tried to kick the moon, and so I just remember from a young age having this relationship with the sky and the moon and the planes, and that stayed with me through my formative years and even into college. And I just remember dreaming of, what's it like when you're on the plane and you're going somewhere else? I didn't fly until later in life. We didn't really, on vacation with my family, we didn't really hop on planes. But when I did, the first place I really went to was New Zealand. I studied abroad in New Zealand, which is as far as you can get from here.
Yeah.
And had just a great life experience. It's one of the best decisions I'd ever made. And that sense of, the reason why I call it a core value,
Yes.
indeed, is that I can also, it frames just about any experience positively and with great potential.
So you look for that adventure, the newness, the chartering different worlds, new worlds, and you're fearless. You seem to be fearless, and that has so much courage. I'm sure there's many of us who would want to have that as a value, but struggle to get it. And the way you describe it, it's innate. You were born with it.
Well, I don't know if I'd say that I was fearless. That's very kind of you, and maybe I've heard other people say that. His friend said that to me recently. She's like, "God, you're just fearless," and I go, "No, I definitely have fear."
You have some boundaries.
But there was something, I don't know when exactly, but at some point in life, the image, I think of Peter Pan and walking the plank, and it's walking the plank is scary, but in my life, I almost refuse not to walk the plank.
Wow.
So the
You're
fear is there.
You're going to be one of those people that have on their tombstone, uh, never say no, or
I mean, yeah, that's when you get into some crazy adventures, and even when the thing I also want to say is that even when things that feel negative happen, I will sort of, in moments of lucidity, if it's not really weighing me down, but I will kind of laugh and go, "You asked for it, kid. You said
right.
you wanted adventure." And I've a kind of a little good anecdote for this. Just the other day, I was doing a lot of work at home. I was like, I need a break. I'm just going to go for a little wander, and I ran into someone on the street who I thought was talking to me, took out my earbuds, proceeded to cuss me out for a good, I know.
Oh
And I
my
was like, oh, this
goodness!
hasn't happened in a while. And like riled me up. And I just laughed about it. And then like around the corner, there was someone who like, two strangers, never seen, like smile and, hey, how's it going? Which is also rather rare in New
Right.
York. And I was like, that's what New York is, A.
Yes.
But B, that's what the universe is. It's like,
Yes.
it's column A and column B. And you know what? They still both fit under the category of adventure and experience. And I want to feel things.
Yes.
That's what,
You
and
want to have a true life experience,
yes.
and that's really great. And there, along with what I just said before, you're also going to have no regrets, because you don't have any regrets if you jump in and try it, right? I think that's a
Yeah.
marvelous core value, and I'm so glad you shared that with us. Which brings me to the next question,
Mhm.
because sometimes the experiences aren't all good, and you have challenges or difficult situations that come your way, and I'm just wondering if you could talk about how you handle challenges or difficult situations. Like, do you have a mindset, or a particular mindset or approach that maybe you've honed uh, throughout your life from events or experiences?
Yeah, this one's kind of tricky because I think we all know a dark night of the soul in some capacity, sometimes with great frequency. Um, uh, Obsessive compulsive disorder is something that runs in my family,
Mm.
and that's I have a respect and compassion for mental health or mental unhealth, as it were, and that's something that we all experience at one time or another. And I think it's important to acknowledge the honesty of what one is feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then, if I were to say something that really aids me in that time, is kind of like Dory in Finding Nemo. It's just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Like the keep going mentality
Mm-hmm.
is, and I'm still learning how to do this, but it's an understanding that however I feel, that is just one aspect of reality at this moment. It's one aspect of the universe and even my own reality. And
And
if
it's
I can,
changeable.
it's changeable. And it is amazing how things do get better, and then they will get worse, and then they will get better, and
Nothing
then they
stays
will
the
get worse, and
same.
nothing stays the same. And I just heard recently a friend was talking about surrender, and
Mm-hmm.
that like we do. I think we do a lot of things as human beings to try and overcome things, and sort of even try to have everything be okay.
Like, pull up our bootstraps, or put that positive attitude, and then sometimes it's just better to accept the reality.
Yes, I mean, and there is such a thing as toxic positivity. I think that can be a problem too. It's like,
Yes.
no, it's fine. I'm smiling and it's okay, even though I'm really dying on the inside and I need some help. That's why I'm like, it's yin and yang. If I don't take the time to go, wow, I feel really awful right now. I need to turn to the people that I know and love. And and this actually, I I said this out loud to a friend recently, and I was like, wow, that sounded really wise. I think I need to write this down. If I do say so myself. It was that, I use New York as an example because life in New York really is,
Up
I
and
think it
down,
is
up and down.
harder than it is in most places. And friend was going through a tough time, and I said, I feel like in New York, you have three options when something bad or difficult happens. You can leave, you can decide to handle it on your own, or you can say, I'm going to handle it, but I need help.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm pretty sure why I'm still here in New York is because I have never completely chosen the first. I haven't said, well, I'm just getting out of here.
Right.
Sometimes I have said, yes, I need a break. I need to go away. But it's usually a combination of the three. And it's like, I got to learn something new, or I need what an amazing support structure
Yeah,
I
need
have.
to
I need to
reach
ask for
out
help.
for help, and no pity party, but grappling. We need to grapple. That's that's what life gives us at times, and it grows our souls. Grappling. Oh,
Grappling.
lovely. That's so good. Thank you so much
You're
for that.
welcome.
I think that's very, very helpful. Which brings us to the last question.
Please.
Number 3.
Please. Number 3.
What gets you out of bed in the
Oh
morning?
boy.
Like,
Okay.
how do you find meaning and purpose in your life? You know?
Oh boy.
Just
I
a
love
little
that these are like
question.
really light questions, Margaret. That's yeah.
I mean, it could be as simple as, well, I know I need to feed my dog.
Actually,
Or
that so my first answer to this is there are 4 things I try to do
yes.
every morning. I don't always get to them. I try to do them before checking my email and interacting
Yes.
with anyone or anything, which is a real challenge because sometimes I don't succeed at that. Frequently, I don't. But I try to meditate, write, and just briefly. It can be 5 minutes
Yes.
of writing. Meditate,
Like a journal.
write, going to the gym, doing something physical. And eating. And I say that because you'll just forget to eat. You know what I mean? You check your email, you have a phone call, you have a thing, you got to clean this, you're going to do whatever, you're going to go out, and then you go, why is my stomach right, I didn't eat.
Right.
So I try to hit the 4 things. And this it sounds so basic, but it has taken years for that approach to evolve. For me to go, wait a minute, I got to start by actively taking care of myself in the most basic way.
Self-care.
In the
Self-care.
most basic way.
And the
It's
routine
food, it's
and
action.
survival and
Yes.
what your body, mind, and spirit needs to start the day before the world impacts.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that gives me the foundation on which then to approach the other things, which in answer to the question, like what gets you out of bed in the morning, like the other, I don't want to call them bigger things, but the things that are perhaps a little bit more intellectual, career related, those things that I'm like, okay, now I can approach those things because I still have a great deal of ambition. That's part of what gets me out of bed in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I have chosen to, I try to interact with the things that bring me joy and feel important. And for me thus far in my life, I have chosen that being a storyteller, which for me is really at the heart of what it is to be a performer actor, but to be a teller of stories, being a musician, that also feels like being a little bit of a magician. I teach piano, and I like to tell my students that I'm like, I'm not just teaching you music, I'm teaching you magic and a lot of brain multitasking, which is kind of like magic.
Yeah.
So music, storytelling, gosh,
And the human connection.
and that's it. Yes, connecting. That's actually literally. I have a cheat sheet. And I put that's it. Connection and healing. That was the other one. It's like that I'm feeling more and more called towards, and realizing, dawning on me that that's actually what I've been doing my whole life as a performer.
Isn't that
but
great?
But really thinking about it, and what I mean. I hope and pray that I can do this every time I go out on stage. A friend shared with me recently. She said, you can think about this every time you walk out on stage. I'm going to change someone's life today. And I think that that's true. You're going to bring some ray of light into someone's life, and you'll never know and you'll never understand it, but it is what you're doing. And if I can step on stage with that intention, not just, God, I hope they like this. And
no,
this
no,
you know what I mean?
That's a beautiful purpose. That's a beautiful purpose because it's so heart-centered. I love that, and you have a big heart, and we're so grateful that you were here today to share your unique outlook and your wisdom. Let's all thank Matt. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. We're all brothers and sisters. I believe that heartily. We're all made of the same stuff. So I'm very happy to be here and still be here.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yes. Well, thank you, Matt, and thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed this content, I hope you'll share, send us your comments. We love to hear from you, and perhaps you'll even subscribe to the channel, Wisdom Words with Margaret Emory. And thanks again for watching. Until next time.